Listen closely, because what I'm about to say will stir something deep within your spirit. Right now, some of you feel trapped, overlooked, abandoned, as if the weight of the world has chosen you for its burden. But I want you to hear this truth with every fiber of your being. Help is coming. God is sending it, not in the noise, not in the chaos, but in the quiet, deliberate unfolding of his divine plan. If you can see nothing yet, it does not mean nothing is happening. In fact, it means everything is being prepared on your behalf in ways you cannot yet comprehend. Your breakthrough is closer than your doubts, your solution nearer than your fear, and the signs of God's help are already moving in your life. The first sign is unseen alignment. Listen, God often works before you even recognize his hand. The people you are about to meet, the doors that are about to open, they are shifting in your favor right now. You might feel as if your life is standing still, as if nothing is happening, but in the spiritual realm, alignment is taking place. Opportunities are being arranged. Resources are being positioned, and circumstances are being prepared. Sometimes you will not see the mechanics of God's plan, but the wisdom is this: the preparation is quiet, subtle, unseen, yet unstoppable. When you notice a chain of seemingly unrelated events beginning to converge, rejoice, because this is God's orchestration. The alignment might come as a conversation, a chance encounter, or a sudden insight that changes your path. You cannot manufacture this. It is a gift that arrives when you are spiritually ready. The second sign is peace amid chaos. Let me tell you, peace is more than a feeling. It is a divine signal. When storms rage, when trials press in from every side, yet your heart remains calm, unshaken, and undisturbed, it is because God is preparing to intervene. Most people mistake fear for reality, anxiety for truth. But when help is near, the Spirit of God deposits a supernatural peace in your soul. You may be surrounded by challenges, but inside there's a quiet assurance whispering, "Do not fear, I am with you. Your help is coming." That peace is not from circumstance, it is from divine presence. When you recognize it, do not ignore it. It is a preview of the breakthrough that is already on its way. The third sign is detachment from past struggles. I want you to hear this. You cannot receive God's help while clinging to yesterday's pain. Emotional attachment to failure, resentment, or disappointment blocks the flow of divine assistance. When you release the hold of past struggles, when you rise above the desire to control, manipulate, or relive old wounds, you demonstrate spiritual readiness. Detachment is not apathy, it is strength. It is confidence. It is the acknowledgement that God's plan is greater than any setback you have endured. When you stop carrying the weight of old burdens, you create space for new blessings, for divine help to enter without resistance. This is a sign that you are being prepared, that you are ready to receive the assistance that has been ordained for your life. The fourth sign is people and resources aligning. God often brings help to others in ways you may not anticipate. You may meet someone who provides insight, guidance, or opportunity that seems coincidental, but it is not. Sometimes it is a network of connections, sometimes a single person, and sometimes the resources you need arrive just in time. These alignments are not random, they are spiritual confirmations. The universe is arranging the elements of your breakthrough, and God is using people and circumstances to manifest what you have been praying for. Watch closely. When these alignments begin to appear, recognize them. They are not chance. They are signs that your help is imminent. And finally, the fifth sign, though subtle, it is unmistakable, is the stirring within your spirit. There is an unexplainable hope that rises even when logic says there should be none. There is a confidence, a sense of inevitability, that something good is about to happen, That stirring is God speaking directly to your heart. It is a divine whisper saying, I am sending help. I am moving in your favor. Stand ready. Do not ignore that internal prompt. Do not quiet it with doubt or fear. That stirring is alive, active, and it will not lie. It is the pulse of God's presence moving toward you, the heartbeat of your breakthrough. Recognize these signs, study them, align your spirit with them. And remember, help does not always come in ways you expect, but it always comes in ways you need. Your season of waiting is not a season of abandonment. It is a season of preparation, of quiet, of unseen work. Stand firm, stand faithful, and watch as God moves. The signs are before you, the alignment is in place, the peace is yours to claim, and the stirrings of your spirit are undeniable. God is sending help, and it is closer than you think. Listen carefully, because this is where most people miss the work of God unfolding in their lives. The first sign that help is coming, eyes unseen alignment, and it is far deeper than you imagine. Many believe that what they see is all that exists, that their life moves only when events are visible, tangible, or measurable. But God does not operate according to our limited human perspective. He works in dimensions beyond sight, orchestrating circumstances, people, and resources in ways that are perfectly timed and divinely precise. This unseen alignment is subtle, almost imperceptible, and yet it is one of the clearest indicators that divine help is on the way. Think about it. In the natural, when things begin to shift, there is usually noise, visible effort, and struggle. But in the spiritual, when God aligns the path, it often begins quietly, without fanfare, without your noticing immediately. It could be a chance conversation with someone that sparks an idea you have been praying for. It could be a situation that seems like a coincidence, yet it positions you perfectly for a breakthrough. Perhaps it is a door that appears closed, only for another door to open in a direction you never imagined. The key is that God's timing is perfect, and His alignment often happens in ways that human eyes cannot detect at first. You see, God's alignment is not random. It is purposeful. Every person who comes into your life, every opportunity that presents itself, every resource that crosses your path is being positioned by divine intention. Sometimes it is easy to overlook these moments because they appear insignificant at first. A casual message, a fleeting encounter, or an unexpected turn of events may seem trivial, but they are all pieces of a greater puzzle that God is putting together. When you learn to recognize these subtle movements, you begin to understand that help is not only coming, but is already in motion. Most people fail to notice alignment because they are looking for dramatic signs or sudden miracles. They expect a clear, obvious change that announces, now your help has arrived. But God rarely works that way. He works quietly, consistently, and often behind the scenes, preparing everything in advance so that when the time comes, the breakthrough appears seamless. The unseen alignment is like the roots of a tree growing deep before it bears fruit above the ground. You do not see the roots, but they are there, strong, steady, and nourishing everything that will one day bloom. The invisible work of alignment is also a test of patience and faith. While God positions resources and opens doors, He allows you to remain in a state of waiting. This waiting is not punishment or neglect. It is a deliberate part of the process. The unseen alignment requires your trust, your perseverance, and your faith. You must believe that even when the path seems unclear, God is moving on your behalf. It is during these moments of unseen preparation that your character, your resilience, and your readiness are being refined. You cannot rush alignment, nor can you force it. The unseen nature of it teaches you to walk by faith and not by sight. Consider how many times in life you have encountered situations that seemed unplanned but ultimately led to significant breakthroughs. Perhaps a delay that frustrated you turned out to be the very thing that placed you in the right position at the right time. Maybe a person who initially seemed inconsequential became the key to unlocking an opportunity you had been praying for. These are the markers of unseen alignment. God often arranges your circumstances long before you recognize their importance, and the timing is always perfect. Another aspect of unseen alignment is the way it prepares your heart, mind, and spirit for the help that is coming. God does not only align external circumstances, He aligns you internally as well. He prepares your thinking, your understanding, and your discernment so that when help arrives, you can receive it fully, without confusion or resistance. This is why moments of waiting, uncertainty, or apparent stagnation are so critical. They are part of the spiritual preparation. You may feel frustrated or impatient, but these moments are refining you, strengthening your faith, and positioning you to act wisely when the help arrives. Unseen alignment also requires discernment. Not every opportunity or encounter is part of God's alignment. You must learn to recognize the patterns, the coincidences that are too precise to be random, and the doors that open at exactly the right time. Discernment comes from prayer, attentiveness, and spiritual sensitivity. The more you cultivate your connection with God, the more you can perceive alignment as it unfolds. It is like tuning your senses to a frequency that allows you to detect movement invisible to the untrained eye. Importantly, unseen alignment teaches humility. When you recognize that God is orchestrating the events of your life beyond your control, you are reminded that your success is not solely by your effort, but by His divine guidance. It shifts your perspective from frantic striving to confident trust. You learn to step into opportunities with assurance because you know that God's hand has already positioned you perfectly. You are no longer reliant on luck, timing, or chance. You operate from a place of divine authority and understanding, knowing that the unseen alignment is evidence of His active involvement in your life. This alignment can also manifest in ways that challenge your expectations. God's help does not always come in the way you anticipate. Sometimes the alignment appears as a challenge, a redirection, or an obstacle that seems inconvenient or even threatening. Yet these moments are deliberate. They are God's way of positioning you, of steering you onto the path that will lead to your breakthrough. When you begin to recognize these moments as part of His alignment, you stop resisting the unexpected and instead embrace it as a sign that help is near. The unseen alignment is not just about positioning, it is also about timing. Timing is crucial in the spiritual realm. A resource delivered too early may be wasted, a relationship formed too soon may falter, and a decision made too quickly may not bear fruit. God's alignment takes all of this into account. Everything is synchronized for maximum impact. This is why patience and trust are essential. You may not see the full picture, but you can trust that the picture exists and it is far greater than you imagine. Finally, the beauty of unseen alignment is that it strengthens your faith even before the help arrives. Each subtle shift, each converging circumstance, and each quiet sign of preparation is a reminder that God is actively working on your behalf. It trains you to trust the unseen, to recognize that what is not visible is just as real as what you can see. Your faith grows, your hope rises, and your confidence solidifies, preparing you to receive the help that is already in motion. The alignment may be invisible to others, but you can perceive it spiritually, and that perception is what positions you to walk into your breakthrough with authority and clarity. Unseen alignment is God's way of saying that help is coming, that the breakthrough is near, and that your life is being orchestrated with divine precision. It is quiet, subtle, and intentional, requiring faith, patience, and discernment. As you recognize it, trust it, and move in harmony with it, you will discover that what has been unseen is about to become overwhelmingly evident, and the help you have been waiting for is already on its way. The second sign that God is sending help soon is peace amid chaos. And this is one of the most profound indicators of divine intervention. Most people measure their circumstances by the turbulence around them, believing that external confusion or trials dictate their internal state. Yet God operates on a different plane. When help is on its way, He deposits a supernatural calm in your spirit, a peace that transcends understanding and defies natural explanation. This peace is not dependent on circumstances. You may be surrounded by storms, facing difficulties that seem insurmountable, yet inside there is a quiet assurance that all is not lost. It is a signal from God that the breakthrough you are waiting for is already being arranged, even if the physical world seems to suggest otherwise. Peace amid chaos is a divine marker because it shows that God has taken control of the situation, even before you can see it. Most people respond to challenges with fear, worry, or frantic effort, trying to manipulate circumstances to create their own solutions. But when help is near, there is a noticeable shift. Your heart no longer races uncontrollably at every obstacle. Your mind ceases its constant fretting. A sense of calm settles over your spirit, and you find yourself able to navigate the chaos with clarity and focus. This peace is a protective covering, a signal that God is orchestrating the events of your life. You may not see the resolution yet, but the calm inside indicates that it is coming. This peace is also a test of trust. When God places calm within you amid difficulty, He is measuring your faith. Can you remain steady when everything around you is unsteady? Can you maintain confidence when the natural evidence seems contrary to the divine promise? This internal peace is not a reward for having no problems, but a sign that God is preparing you to receive His help with a spirit that is not consumed by fear or anxiety. Those who lack this peace often struggle to recognize the signs of divine assistance because their attention is consumed by chaos rather than spiritual assurance. There is a depth to this peace that cannot be manufactured by human effort. No amount of meditation, willpower, or positive thinking can replicate it fully. It is a gift from God, a supernatural presence that calms the storm within, even when external storms rage. You may still feel the challenges. You may still encounter obstacles, but your internal state remains centered, anchored, and strong. This is why it is a clear sign of divine help. It demonstrates that God is not only aware of your circumstances, but He is actively moving to intervene on your behalf. Peace amid chaos also enables discernment. When your spirit is calm, you can perceive what God is doing in your situation. You can see the openings, the opportunities, and the paths that others who are overwhelmed by fear or stress cannot recognize. This clarity is part of God's preparation. Help may be arriving, but you must be spiritually aligned to receive it. The calm within you allows you to make decisions in harmony with God's timing and direction rather than reacting out of panic or pressure. In this way, peace is not just a symptom of help approaching. It is a tool that positions you to take full advantage of the divine assistance being sent. The peace that signals incoming help also changes the way you interact with the world. When you are calm inside, you exude confidence and faith externally. People notice the difference in your demeanor. Eddie on its way.